Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Cut to the Chase Sports Podcast, bringing unique insight and analysis by your favorite teams. I say the same shit all the time. I'm your host, Shit Shantz. Over to my right, got Matt Ricketts. What's going on, Matt?
What's up, man? It's my favorite show of the week right here. Matt's Picks coming back to you. 10-4-1 on the year. 10-4-1 on the year. That's a pretty fucking good record. We're rolling, and we got one of my favorite segments today, BK Broiling.
Yeah, yeah, BK. What's going on with you?
Oh, not much. I'm excited for the day. Also one of my favorite episodes of the week. I'm going to keep saying that just to make Matt mad. But I'm ready for the day. Ready to get rolling. Ready to talk about some football. Ready to get going. That's all I got.
I don't think Matt's mad right now because Matt was able to get his thing in first, and obviously so.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Matt's
as
getting here.
As long as I can say it first, I don't give a shit if you say it or not. Fuck.
Hey, Matt's been getting in here quick, man. He's been trying to get in there before Brady has, and he's been joining quicker and stuff like that. So Matt's on one right now. But before we get into everything, like this video, subscribe to us on YouTube. We're trying to do our thing over there. There's a lot of stuff that's been going on, but we're going to do things a little bit differently. First off, this is going to be real short. Like I said, more Bounce to the Ounce is back, and Matt hates it, but I don't really care. With more Bounce to the Ounce, topic this week is basically, I'll put myself on the single screen for it's going to be like a minute. Single screen, when it comes to, college football on television, I will say I do give them applause that obviously a big celebrity comes to a game, they're not going to show it like Taylor Swift. All right, very glad that it's not like the NFL. It's like, oh my God, Taylor Swift, we're going to show her 12 times. Once the Chiefs score a touchdown, blah blah blah. You've seen so many big stars come to college football games, stuff like that. Even Snoop Dogg go to USC games and everything, and they would show them a couple of times, but not a whole lot, as they should be. Technology's there, but shit, who cares after that? But that's not the point. I'm looking at listening to the people that I that are calling the game and stuff like that. The top of the line, like ABC and NBC, CBS, Fox, who are the top four when it comes to the broadcast rank stuff. I'm not going to put NBC in there right now because it's still their first year, really doing Big Ten coverage and stuff. No Eagle and Todd Blackledge, they're doing a pretty good job. I'm not going to put them in there yet just because of being their first year. Number three, I think Chris Fowl and Kirk Herbstreit are good. I think they're a good tandem and stuff like that. But obviously people talk about Herbstreit being Ohio State biased, all that stuff. A lot of stuff like that. Chris Fowler, he's been pretty good overall. I think the duo's cool, and you could listen to it for a while. But I mean, like I said, we were listening to Ohio State and Georgia last year, and they was just all over Georgia's meat. So there you go. Number two, you got Brad Nessler and Gary Danielson. That crew worked together back in the 2000s, working for ESPN and ABC. They, I can enjoy listening. I can tolerate listening to them. Brad Nessler been around the game for a minute. Gary Danielson, for the most part, knows his X's and O's really well, and it's a pretty good duo to watch. At 3:30 on CBS. Now going to be a lot of Big Ten games coming forward, starting in 2024. And then number one crew, they were just down here in Cincinnati. They're going to be up there in Columbus this weekend. Gus Johnson and Joe Klatt. Gus Johnson, probably the best play-by-play announcer in college football right now. Joe Klatt, got a great mind of his own, college football and all that. They're just a fantastic duo, and you could actually listen to them for an entire broadcast in multiple overtimes, and you would not get sick and tired of it. But I'm sick and tired of having myself on the solo layout, so we're going to exit out of it. We're going to give BK his own segment. BK Broiling.
Yeah, good segment for more Bounce to the Ounce. First time back in a while. I agree with most of what he said for sure. Today, I have – let me get it up real quick because I have a new segment. Not a new segment, but a new interesting topic to talk about today. So it's not quite the halfway point, but it's close. Halfway point in college football. After this week 6. So most teams will be at the six game mark. This is only Ohio State's 5th game. So not quite the halfway point for us, but I've decided to do that this episode because other episodes I have a different topic. I don't want to take the other episodes to do this list, but I wanted to get it out. I'm going to be talking about who I think is the best player in college football at each position so far. And that's not just statistics. This is just based off everything, who takes away people, who is making the clutchest plays, who's just the best player when you watch them on tape this so far. So at quarterback, I would not have said this last year. I think Caleb Williams has been the best quarterback in college football. Obviously, favored to be the number one pick, likely will be the number one pick. But he's been great so far. A lot better than last year, in my opinion. Better from the pocket. He's not just trying to make crazy plays because, in my opinion, when I watched him last year, he was not great from the pocket. But this year he's been really good at limiting turnovers, and, he's just had great numbers. Running back, I have Blake Corum. I don't think there's any, I honestly was this close to putting – it was between him, Audric Estime, and Trey. And I'm not even trying to be biased with Trey because I do think he'll be the first running back selected. But I just think Blake Corum is the most powerful runner, and he's just so good at picking up the short yardage situations, and he's good for 6 yards a pop. He's just such a good player. Wide receiver, Marvin Harrison Jr. Still has had good stats, even with not having he's not been the most productive receiver in the country, but he is the best receiver in the country, and it's not even close. You can call him whatever you want, generational. He's just the best receiver in the country. Tight end, Brock Bowers, again, is pretty easy this year. I'm not even including Cade Stover. He's easily the best, but, Brock Bowers.
Yes, he is.
If you don't count the greatest tight end ever, you got to put Brock Bowers in here, as the best tight end in college football because he's just so versatile and a great receiver. Offensive tackle, it's been Joe Alt. I feel like a lot of people have been saying Fashanu is the best, but I think it's Joe Alt by far at Notre Dame. He's crazy good, absolutely clamped JT. Crazy good player. Offensive guard has been Cooper Beebe from Kansas State. I didn't know much about him before the year, but he's been great this year, not allowing any sacks. He's just been, locked down. Going to be a high draft pick. Defensive side of the ball, at corner, Cooper DeJean has been the best from Iowa. There's been a lot of good corners this year. It's about 8 deep for me for guys that potentially are like first-round level potential, but Cooper DeJean is so good. He's white. Shocking. He'll be like the first white corner in the NFL. Other than Riley Moss, who just came from Iowa. 2 white corners, but Cooper DeJean, crazy, like first-round level corner. Safety has been Malachi Starks, sophomore from Georgia. He was very good as a freshman and has just improved on that. Linebacker, Harold Perkins of LSU. He's just so versatile. He can back the quarterback. He can make tackles. He can run with people in coverage. Freak top 5 pick in next year's draft. Defensive end, Jared Verse, as advertised from Florida State. Very athletic, very good pass rush moves. Just the best pure defensive end in the country. And then defensive tackle, Jerzon Newton from Illinois. Fairly easily, just a game wrecker and causes so much havoc.
All right. That is BK Bruin right there. And we will get it into Matt's picks straight segment, BK. There you go. Matt, you got your picks. You're 10-4-1. What are you going to do to get the potentially 13-4-1?
2-1 last week. Just in my opinion, I like Denzel Burke over Cooper DeJean, but good list, Brady. Good list.
Thank you. I mean, he was close. He's top 5 for sure.
Benjamin Morrison.
Right.
Morrison's top 3.
We'll find out this week if he plays really well. We'll find out because they're going to be slinging the skin around. So, like Chase said, 10-4-1. This week I got 3 games. I'm going to be honest with you. There's not one of these picks that I'm super confident about this week. Last week, the one that I was super confident about, shit down the leg on fucking Friday night. So, but I did go 2-1. So I'm not going to give you a lock of the week, but I'm going to give you 3 picks this week, like I always do, and we're going to keep rolling. 10-4-1 of the year. First one, Friday night, Illinois, home against Nebraska. They are -3.5. I'm taking Illinois in this game, -3.5. Both coming off of embarrassing shutouts. Or not shutouts, blowouts, rather. I'm sorry. I misspoke. Embarrassing blowouts, Nebraska to Michigan, and then Illinois to Purdue. I mean, Purdue came out and just took a shit on them. So I think the whole team comes back. Both offenses are both defenses are so we'll see. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think I like the under in this game too, but we're going to go Illinois -3.5. I like them to win this game. Nebraska's offense is just so lost. They're just ass right now without a quarterback. So give me the fighting line. I'm -3.5 on Fox at 8 o'clock on Friday night, 3:30 on Saturday afternoon. I like the Alabama Crimson Tide on the road -1.5, which is crazy low to me. Against Texas A&M, I think Texas A&M is better this year. Just think Alabama's the better team. I would be now. A couple years ago, the last time Alabama went to Texas A&M, they won on a field goal. I just feel like Saban, they finally broke 40 points last week. They're getting their offense don't get me wrong, it's not clicking on all cylinders. It's still not an elite offense by any means, but they're kind of finding some momentum. These past couple weeks, I think Alabama covers the spread of -1.5. Give me the Crimson Tide. Then the 7:00 game, SEC game, undefeated Georgia and Kentucky. I like the Wildcats +14.5. I think it's really close to that line. I could see Georgia winning this game like 27-16, 28-17, somewhere around there. But I like the Wildcats, Kentucky +14.5. I think their run game is really good with Davis as a running back. So I just O'Leary as their quarterback. So we'll see, what goes on in this game. I think Georgia's is due for a good game, but I also think they're a little susceptible against the run this year. So we'll see in this game if the Wildcats are for real and if Georgia's really that best team in the country. But I'm going to go – I got a feeling Kentucky covers this game. It'll be low to medium scoring, but I like Kentucky +14.5. Those are your picks this week. 10-4-1 on the year. Let's keep it rolling, boys.
There you go, Matt. Getting right to it, man. You gotta love it. Maybe you'll go 3-0 this week. As you said, maybe. Good things happen to you. Do you guys want to start off with Maryland, Ohio State, or do you guys want to,
let's end with that.
You want to end with that? All right.
Yeah, let's end with that.
So we'll start off with a really good matchup, which is a top 12 matchup between Oklahoma and Texas. Both teams are 5-0. They play on ABC at noon. Texas favored by 6.5 in this one. This is the last time they're going to be playing each other while both members are a part of the Big 12 if we go into the SEC next season.
In the regular season.
In the regular season.
That'd be crazy.
In the regular season, that's true. They could end up playing each other in this championship game. So, obviously got to monitor that. Matt, I'll start off with you. Oklahoma, what – obviously you saw them play on, I saw them play obviously against Cincinnati. They've played some opponents that have been, lower down the totem pole. What is this Oklahoma team? What do you get a look of?
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know. I'm kind of in the I don't know mode. I think they have a really high-powered offense, the typical Oklahoma team, throughout the past decade or two. High-powered offense. I think it's different this year, though. I do think defensively they're way better. I mean, Brett Venables, it took him about 2 years, they've not been getting blown off the field defensively, not getting in shootouts, kind of like USC and Lincoln Riley just did. So I think defensively they are better, but to be honest, they haven't played. I mean, Cincinnati is fuck.
Yeah.
So they haven't.
Not fuck Cincinnati. Cats by 90, but yeah, we're not good. They're not good.
Anybody good yet? So I'm waiting to see right now this week. This is it. It's gonna tell me everything I need to know. I think they're solid on defense. Now they're playing on one of the most high-powered offenses in the nation. So we're gonna see this week. But I think they have a really good offense. I think they'll be able to keep it close for sure. It's just it's gonna. I don't know. I don't know about Oklahoma. I really don't. We're gonna know this week. We're gonna know this week.
Yeah. This is a big test right here. Obviously, the first weekend in October, and you're going to kind of see what a team, might be trending towards and everything. This would be a huge win for Oklahoma if they get the chance. Brady, as Matt said, their defense could keep them in this game. I'll go to the Texas side of the ball. Where exactly could Texas exploit Oklahoma? What weaknesses do you see in Oklahoma, and where could Texas exploit them and try to win this game and blow it open?
I think Oklahoma's overall weakness resides in their pass defense. And I know their numbers, I don't know what the numbers are, but I do know the personnel and I know what I've seen. I haven't seen much Oklahoma this year, but I've seen a little bit, and they have weaknesses. And their weaknesses do not match up well with Texas's offense. So I feel like Texas' downfield passing can really exploit Oklahoma, especially when Texas's quarterback arguably has the best arm talent in the nation. So I would say probably does have the best arm talent in the nation. There's a reason why he was the best recruit ever. So that's going to be rough for Oklahoma if they can't stop that. So Texas is going to need to do what they do best and send pressure at the quarterback. They're good. They can get back to the quarterback. They were doing it against Bama. Get pressure with Dylan Gabriel because those are the two best quarterbacks in the Big 12. But absolutely need to throw downfield to A.D. Mitchell, who I've always been very high on, and Xavier Worthy, who I've never been very high on as a person.
Oh,
he's
boy.
good.
Two polar opposites in your book, Brady.
Let me ask you this, Brady. Do you think Oklahoma can score with them?
They definitely could. This is another one, like you said. I'm not getting a good gauge in what I think is necessarily going to happen, and can't say it with confidence because I can see Texas absolutely smashing Oklahoma.
I know Texas. I know Texas is good.
Yeah, I know Texas is good.
We all do.
After last year's, because think about it, this was kind of the same deal Oklahoma had last year. They started off 4-5-0.
Yep.
They were looking really good in the top 15.
Yep.
And then they just shit the bed.
They can certainly be frauds. They do not have which is crazy to say.
That's what I'm saying. So, typically, I could give you somewhat of a feel for a team. I really don't like.
I really think
find out. We're gonna find.
I really think that Texas may be better at every position when I just look at across the board, like quarterback, even running back, wide receiver,
under Brett Venables. We've seen this
offensive line, corner, safety, D line, linebackers. I feel like I'd give the edge to Texas, but then again, I could still see Oklahoma winning. It's just so hard because Texas's weapons are crazy. Like the three receivers and then that tight end, Jatavion Sanders.
Yeah.
They got
the running back's really good too.
Dude, their starting corners both should be at Ohio State. Like Terrence Brooks decommitted on signing day. Yep. Ryan Watts played at Ohio State for 2 years, started for us for a little bit. Had a pick when me and Chase were at the game against Maryland.
Yep.
Now he's the starting corner for Texas, and so is Terrence. So, Texas has some skill. We know that. They're legit.
Yep. I'll tell you this.
They should be the number one ranked team in the country, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I mean, if they get a convincing win on Saturday, that could definitely change. I think an X factor in this game, not just because of his name, for Oklahoma, Jaleel Farouk. I think, he had a 5-catch, 81-yard performance against Iowa State. He's shown the ability to be able to pop off, on some coverages and stuff like that. Maybe they get it going. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like he was my.
I like that guy. I like Farouk.
Yeah, Farouk, man. Shout out to my boy Farouk, though. But we're gonna pick this game. Brady, I'll start with you since I went with Matt to start this entire thing. Who's winning this game?
I'm gonna go Texas 41-24. I'm gonna say a 17-point victory just because, like I said, I feel like Texas has the advantage across the board. So I'd be pretty dumb to say that and not pick them by at least a few scores.
All right, Matt, what do you think?
38-27, Texas. I think I'm going to take the over. I got a feeling I'm going to take the over. It's 60.5. So it's going to be right there. It's going to be right there.
Be 65 right there if you do your math correctly.
Yeah.
So there you go. Cool. I'll go with Texas as well. I think Texas is going to win this game by a score of 43-27. We'll put that back up there. I don't know how they're going to 43, maybe a 2-point conversion and stuff, but I think Texas's offense is going to roll. I think it'll be a close game to start, but I think Texas is going to really find some weaknesses in that Oklahoma secondary, and they're going to take advantage of it and, kind of run away with the game later on. We'll go to the I don't want to talk about LSU and Missouri because LSU is basically out of it. Missouri is undefeated, though. Maybe if they win another game, maybe we'll talk about them a little bit more. Alabama, Texas A&M. 4-1 teams. Alabama is going on the road. They lost the last time they were at Kyle Station. They lost in 2021 off a game-winning field goal. They have some struggles there. They really do. They struggle. They struggle a lot there.
That was on the road. I'm sorry. That was
yeah. I mean they struggled.
They definitely struggled there, but they didn't lose. Texas A&M.
Yeah. 2013 Bama won, but it was it was an exciting game to say the least. But like Matt said, Bama's favored by only 1.5, and he's picking
the weird fucking line
cover. It is. It's a weird game.
It seems like Bama
weird
should
history.
be favored by way more.
What are we thinking in this one? I'll start with Brady since I started with Matt in the first one. Man. What is going on with this game? Like, how are they going to win the game? How is A&M going to pull off the upset against Alabama and end their season?
They need if they want to beat Bama, they need to get pressure on Jalen Milroe. Honestly, though, you need to sell out. Do not drop sell out pressuring him and spying him. Let the trust your DBs to cover their man-to-man. Have a spy and send maybe 4 guys. Send 4 guys and have a spy every play.
Yeah.
Let them. If Jalen Milroe is going to beat you through the air, let him, because he can't read a defense. He's got a decent arm. But you just watch the game. He is not good at reading a defense. And Alabama is not ground and pound either. So they're not. Yeah. I mean, they can run it. They have a good running back.
They're lost. They're lost. That's straight up lost in identity.
Ever since 2020, they have not impressed me. And I know 2021 they made the championship, but they escaped so many times. They really shouldn't have gotten there. They were played amazing in the SEC title game. I really don't think Bama has felt the same since 2020 when they won the national title game. I just feel like they're different, where you can just go get the quarterback these days. Go get Jalen Milroe, and obviously you don't want to over pursue. That's why you keep a spy. And then on offense, I mean, Bama's defense is good. You're just going to have to find ways that I don't know, ways that I couldn't really tell you.
Yeah.
You're going to have to game plan though around their aggressiveness. You're going to have to throw quick passes is my thing.
Yeah, I mean, Bama's played a lot of off-script ball, obviously, with, Bryce Young being in there for 2 years. So they were able to rely on his playmaking and everything. And obviously, Bryce Young was very accurate. He was a great playmaker and stuff like that. Jalen Milroe is nowhere near as accurate as Bryce Young. And, he can run, but can he make plays on the run throwing the football? No, probably nowhere near as close as what Bryce Young can do. So, I mean, that'll
when
be
Jalen Milroe runs, he has no intention of throwing it. Bryce Young had every intention of throwing it when he started.
Exactly. And that's the crazy thing. Think about this. If you were to tell me right now in 2023, looking back a couple years ago, that it's man, just sell out, have a spy, and then play man-to-man against Bama receivers, you would be absolutely crazy. But the Bama receiver production and drop-off of talent is apparent. They don't.
It's so bad that I think Julian Fleming should transfer there immediately this offseason and become their wide receiver.
He would be their one immediately, and
he'd be their wide receiver one. Unless you think that Jermaine Burton's better than him, which I don't know if many people would even argue that.
Yeah, 100%. Matt, do you have any sense on this game, or are you good?
It's just the feel of the game is very weird, but I just think Bama's should be favored by more. So that's why I took him in my Matt's picks segment. I will say it's almost like Texas A&M is our Purdue. Every time we go there, we play like shit. It's fucking weird. They beat us. Texas A&M is Alabama's Purdue type deal. It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
Normal, and that's the thing. There are Purdue, they're Clemson to Syracuse type thing.
Well, it's I don't know how it is.
It is that weird one opponent where I think
Bama's
their Super Bowl. It's A&M Super Bowl. That's the big thing. Every year A&M plays them pretty well. I will say this:
they both control their own destiny. They both have 0 losses in the SEC.
Yep.
So they both control their own destiny. They're the only 2 teams in the West that don't have a loss. So
wow. That's actually pretty crazy. Yeah. Keep it in mind.
Keep that in mind. This is I think whoever wins this game automatically becomes the favorite in the West, I would say. So we'll see. Now Texas A&M has to play. Everybody has to play everybody pretty much, but still, they automatically have the inside track with not having a loss. So we'll see. I'm taking Bama. I would have taken Bama 31-20 in this one. 31-20.
All right. Took the words right out of my mouth. Brady, what do you think?
I'm going to go ding, 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 ding. Upset alert. Texas A&M is going to beat Alabama once again. Alabama will be out of the playoff race. It's not even that I think Texas A&M is that good, but I think they have a good crowd when they need to have a good crowd.
Yep.
And I think they find a way. I think Jalen Milroe is flustered this game. I think I'm going to go with 27-21 Aggies.
Okay. With this, I feel like, I don't know. Last year, I mean, A&M Bama was super close, and Jalen Milroe was playing in that game.
Yeah.
He played in that game for Bryce Young.
They were at the 1 yard line, Texas A&M, and they tried to throw a comeback.
Which was the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
With Haynes King, and they threw it.
He wouldn't have even caught it in the end zone.
No, he waited to throw it until the dude, which it was a horrible call. I'm not even going to
terrible call, but it was just it made a terrible call that much worse. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but Jalen Milroe, I think they're going to go back and watch a lot of that film, and they're going to try to diagnose a lot of the things that went on last year. I think Milroe is going to be a little bit better than what he was, last year against A&M. Obviously, they won the game. I think they're going to win the game by a little bit more. I think, I'll go 24-17. I think it'll be a very low-scoring game, but I think Milroe will make a play with his legs that puts Bama over the top. So I'll go Bama 24-17 over A&M. We'll hop ahead to the nighttime slate. Kentucky and Georgia. Matt talked about this in his Matt's picks that he has Kentucky covering. Does that mean Kentucky's winning? We don't know. But Matt, talk about this Georgia team. Obviously they played Auburn last week, and it was a very, very tight game. Georgia ended up winning that game. But what's different about this Georgia team compared to the last two national championship teams?
They're just not as dominant so far this year. I feel like been kind of they're just kind of, you see it a lot out of teams that have won championships in the past, kind of sleepwalking through.
Yeah.
2014 Florida State, right? 2015 Ohio State. Teams that just fucking sleepwalk their way through the regular season thinking they're better. And it's weird because they didn't return as many players as those two teams did. So we'll see. I think I'm looking for a complete offensive game from Georgia. Just not, last week it was just didn't look very good from what I saw in the highlights and everything. Like I said, I wasn't able to watch a ton from last week live because I was, at the wedding or whatever. But a lot of it just felt like they didn't have it going in the first half, and then boom, all of a sudden they just flip a switch and Brock Bowers has like fucking 190 yards. Like, you know what I mean? I want to see it. I want to see it from start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you could see it from start to finish this week. I just have a feeling Kentucky's actually pretty good this year. So I think it's going to be one of those just ground and pound type, dogfight games in the SEC. So do I think Georgia wins? I do think Georgia wins. I think they come out. I think it's going to be like a 24-13, 24-14 kind of game, 8, 17-ish, one of those kind of games right there. So I am going to take the dogs in this one, but I don't think it's incredibly easy at all. And I think they look better, but I think this is going to be a good game. I think Kentucky's a good team.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, Matt, you can watch this game if you're not at a wedding and you can just sit in front and have that beer. Hey, the shout out though to our good friend Scotty Blackburn for getting married. Though that's dope to see though for sure. Brady down below. How does Kentucky pull off the upset? And then give me your pick after you go on that spiel about how they can pull the upset off.
They pull off the upset by establishing a run game and pounding the rock because Georgia's run defense was not good against Auburn. So I feel like that's their weakness now that they don't have Jalen Carter.
And they have a good ass running back. If you don't, sorry, Brady.
Well, he had 200 yards in the first half last week.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like this is the recipe so far
for beating Georgia.
Take possessions away from them too. I know their offense hasn't been like the gaudy thing for the last 2 years, but it's
clock rule shit. You take as many possessions away as you can. Sorry, Brady. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, no, you're good. But I also think that this Georgia team is far behind the past two. I mean, the only reason they have that number one beside their name is because they were the defending national champions back to back. But when I watch Georgia, I don't get as like when Georgia was on. I feel like Georgia's offense last year was one of the best in the country. 2 years ago, it was definitely their defense. And Stetson Bennett was a really good playmaker. Like he was definitely one of the best quarterbacks in the country, in my opinion, last season. But Carson Beck isn't that. I don't think he's quite as good as I thought he would be. He just doesn't have that playmaking ability Stetson had. And so you can really get Georgia's offense off schedule. And he also doesn't have that same connection with Brock Bowers. Now I know in the second half Brock Bowers went off, but it took them all year. Like he has not had a huge year compared to what he did these past couple of years, where it seemed like he was always the one making the big plays with Stetson. But I just don't know if this is the same Georgia team. Like I said, so there's ways you can beat them. They're a great pass defense. Like they're all over the place. They always have been a great pass defense, but they are especially they're just a really good pass defense. And past 2 years they were great pass defense and a great run defense. So it's what do? You don't really know how to exploit them unless your offense is better than their defense. Is kind of the way we took that route. Was our receivers could beat their corners and we could get the ball to them, which is the only way you could move the ball on them. There's no game planning that. Yeah. But I just don't. I think there's better ways. I think you can run the ball on them this year. So,
yeah. What's your score prediction for this?
I'm going to go with I think Georgia wins pretty big, actually.
Okay.
I know they've been struggling, but this is going to be their good week where they bounce back. We'll go with 45 to 20.
Fuck you.
Hey, I feel like you're falling into the trap. I don't like that bet.
Man.
Sorry.
I think
every other pick I liked.
I'll agree. I'm not going to agree with the blowout necessarily, but 20 points is necessarily a blowout, though. I'm going to say I won't say 20. I'll go 34-17. I think it'll be Georgia's
cover for them. Come on.
Well, yeah, it is.
The other way.
Well, someone's going to be wrong, Matt, and the pressure's on. But I think Georgia's going to get off to a pretty good start. I think they're going to, Kentucky's going to be playing catch up the entire game and stuff, and I think they're going to still try to run the football and be successful on a couple of drives. But it's just, they're going to be, I think, in too deep of a hole to, really try to make a huge comeback with, Devin Leary quarterback. So, I got the Dogs 34-17 in that one. The night game on ABC, before we talk about Ohio State, Notre Dame, Louisville. Notre Dame is back in the spotlight, man. They have been, I think this is like their third night game in a row. They
have a fourth one too.
They have a fourth one coming up, and they obviously a huge game against USC.
I can't wait.
Excited for that next week. But Louisville 5-0. They're about an hour and a half down the road from me. They, 25th ranked team in the nation. Notre Dame's favored by 6.5. Brady, Notre Dame has been through a lot the last couple of weeks. They've been through a lot of adversity. How do they keep this thing rolling, and do they win?
Yeah, so I don't know that past Notre Dame teams would have made that drive that Notre Dame made to win that game. That was a lot of guts. It was like the opposite of the week before. I'm happy we were on the good side of that. But it's crazy because I feel like Notre Dame, like if we're being honest, like I wanted Duke to win that game. Okay, I always want Notre Dame to lose. I don't care how it makes our schedule look. I want Notre Dame to lose. But Notre Dame vastly outplayed Duke that game in my eyes. Like just watching start to finish, like Duke could not move the ball in Notre Dame. And then boom, you get those last couple of drives. It was kind of like Ohio State, Notre Dame, where Duke, we're stopping them all game. Then Notre Dame, boom, 2 touchdowns. Kind of what Duke did. Riley Leonard was flustered. I hope he heals up. I know it's never want to see that. So Notre Dame looked good. And it's going to be an interesting game. Louisville's a pretty good team. And Notre Dame having to go at Louisville at night is not going to be easy. So it's going to be a tough one. That sucks for Notre Dame. But I also think they're going to prevail. I think that Notre Dame's offense is going to have a big week against Louisville. I feel like this is just a game where Audric Estime could feast, and same with guys like on the outside. I'm not sure if they get Jaden Greathouse and Jaden Thomas, 2 of their top 3 receivers, did not play against Duke. So they didn't really have their weapons full volume. I'm not sure if they'll have those guys against Duke, but I'm still against Louisville, but I'm still expecting a win. And I'm going to go with 31 to 21, 10 points.
All right. Matt, before I get to you, Louisville's averaging almost 500 yards a game on offense, 300 yards passing, 193 yards rushing, and they're only giving up about 109 yards a game in the run game on defense, which nowadays is actually, not bad in college football.
That's tough against
really tough.
And that's
really
good
tough.
for Estime.
Yeah, Sam Hartman, 14 touchdowns and no interceptions this year. Can't say the same for Jack Plummer for Louisville. 11 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Obviously, I'm going to ask, have you seen much Louisville this year? And the answer is probably going to be
hell no. So that's what I was going to tell you.
Yeah.
Other than knowing that Louisville has a really high-powered offense, I don't know jack shit about it. I know Jeff Brom's there. Yep. I know he's got a 5-0. I know they're moving in the right direction. But in terms of dissecting and watching a Louisville game, fuck no, I haven't watched Louisville.
They needed a goal line stand to beat Indiana. I'll say that. But.
So here's what
you get a chance to maybe watch them this week. So there you go.
Yeah, I might go back and look. Yeah. So here's what I'll tell you. I think they have a good offense. I think they're somewhat fraudulent, in my opinion.
Maryland should have been ranked over
that's
there. Well, actually,
that's me saying it because of some of the I don't know. I just have a feeling they're fucking fraudulent. That's not me saying it based off of what I've seen because I haven't watched. Yeah. That's more me just thinking. I think they're going to be able to score a little bit. So I'm going to say 34-17 Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame's going to be able to pound them. I don't think defensively they're going to be able to stop Notre Dame. And Notre Dame's not some huge high-powered offense, but they're going to pound you, and they can throw the ball a little bit too. So, I'm going to take Notre Dame. I think it's pretty comfortable in this one.
All right, I'm going to go with a similar score to that, but I'm going to go with Notre Dame 35-14. I think Louisville's going to get off to a nice start. It's going to look like it's going to be a track meet, but I think Jack Plummer makes one interception, one big mistake, and the Notre Dame defense gets life. The offense starts, getting to their attack of let's run the football, let's set up the, quick game, play action, whatever type of game, and Notre Dame's going to have this game in their hands, and they're going to play really good offense the rest of the way. So I got Notre Dame in this one, 35-14. It's going to start off pretty close, but Notre Dame's going to take advantage of it on the end. We saved Ohio State for last. They're taking on Maryland. Both, 5-0 Maryland. Ohio State's 4-0. Maryland's not ranked, but that's a bit of a 26. Shock. They're 26. Yeah, Ohio State's favored by 20.
There'd be anywhere from 19 to 22, like dead serious.
Yeah,
I thought they'd be comfortably ranked.
Yeah, exactly. And, obviously by the end of the, when we get to next week, we don't want to see Maryland ranked at all. So obviously take care of business with that. Ohio State's favored by 20. It's
honestly,
kick off on Fox.
They might end up.
They might. That's, obviously we don't want them to play it close and cover, but all right, I'll give the reins to Matt here. What Maryland? Just give me Maryland, Talia Tagovailoa, blah blah blah. Like, what do you think? Yeah,
I mean, their receivers are good. Their offense is good. They got talent on the outside with Felton. And Jayson Jones is another receiver they have. Talia's got guys that he can throw to. Like defensively, I don't think they're going to be able to stop us. Maybe with a drive here and there or whatever. I think it's going to be more of execution for us on offense. A lot of times on offense, I feel like we stop ourselves at times and not getting fucking 1 yard when we need it, doing some stupid bullshit, not running a fucking quarterback sneak, just shit like that we could just get easy yards on. So I think defensively, I'm not too concerned. Offensively, I do think they're gonna test us a lot. It's gonna be a way better. I wouldn't say way better, maybe I would say Talia's better than the guy from Western Kentucky. I think he is.
He's better.
Yeah, I think he's better. I was hesitant to say way better. It's going to be a better version of Western Kentucky. Put it that way. A better version.
Now let me ask you this:
so we're going to get. Yeah, go ahead.
Is Talia right now better than Kyle McCord through these first 4 games?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I would rather have Talia as my quarterback, no doubt.
Okay. Just asking. But let me ask you this though before I send off to Brady and give me your pick after this. What's one thing that you want to see Ohio State try to establish this game, especially coming off the bye week after they've seen stuff through the first 4 weeks, on film and everything? What is one thing that you want Ohio State to, really try to establish?
One thing that I would like to establish is I'm totally fine with trying. So on our first 3rd 2 or 3rd short, 3rd 1, whatever it is, first time we go out there and somehow we shouldn't be getting fucking stuffed, but somehow we get stuffed. We got to be able to find creative ways on 3rd and short, 4th and short to get first downs rather than just run the ball right at somebody.
Even the plays we get stuffed aren't even creative runs. Like we just
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. Like the times we get stuffed, man. I thought a lot of people think the jet sweep was a horrible play call. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think it was. I think we had the guys out there. We just fucking didn't make it. Was just bad execution.
I thought it was shitty, but
that was a horrible.
I don't think it was bad.
Dude.
So,
to the short side of the field though?
Short side of the field.
I don't give a shit.
You're alone on that.
We have to find creative ways to do stuff like that. Play action off of that. Keep Marvin in the game in the slot, just moving guys around and stuff. Spread people out more. Go in the shotgun if you feel like you can't. If you feel like you're going to combine and close down everybody inside and you're not going to be able to move guys, then spread them out and try to find gaps doing things like that. It's just, I just feel like you got to find some more creative ways to get short yardage if you don't feel like you can. Now, I don't mind it coming out and trying it, running it right down people's throats. I'm totally cool with that. But once they show they stop it and we feel like we can't do it, that's when we got to evolve and try to just do some different type of things, different wrinkles to get short yardage first downs. That's what I would like to see.
All right, what's your pick?
Ohio State is going to win this game 41-24.
All right.
Take it.
Brady, your thoughts on Maryland, what Ohio State should establish coming out of the bye, and your pick.
Yeah, so I think Maryland's a good team. I think this is the best Maryland team since they entered the Big Ten. They've been just manhandling opponents in Power 5. So I came to this week fully expecting a ranked matchup. Not that it matters because we'll send them unranked, hopefully. But I was expecting a ranked matchup. Not sure how they weren't, but it's okay. Taulia, very good quarterback. Him and Sam Hartman are very close for best quarterback we've played so far, in my opinion. They're different styles, though. Taulia loves to run and throw. He's way different than Tua. They are not – like, even though they're brothers, they're different players. Taulia is much more like mobile, like scrambles, doesn't hurt his ankle every time he runs. But he's not like as much of a pocket passer as Tua at the same time. He's more of a scrambler.
Tua shithead.
That name will always be – that will be retired in the Cut the Chase Hall of Fame. Tua shithead, man.
Exactly. But Maryland's a good team. Their defense has been good so far. But what we need to do is we need to find ways to throw the ball down the field. I want to run the ball. I love it. But we have to find ways to just throw the ball, take shots. Now I'm not hearing very good news on Twitter right now. Seems like Marvin is pretty injured with his ankle. He's playing, but he kind of admitted that it's not good. Like, he said that it's worse. He had an ankle injury throughout the year last year.
I almost forgot about that. That was so
he said it's good enough, but I'm not thinking we're going to get 100% Marvin, so we're going to have to get – I think we're going to have to get Carnell Tate in there a little bit, find ways to get him the ball down the field. And I want Xavier Johnson getting the ball. That's another thing. I think we need to find ways to get him the ball in space. Like, he can move with it. X can move. Like, there's no doubt. And there's not even going to be any more talk about Jaden Ballard on this podcast. Dude never plays. Like, I don't know what – he must suck at catching the football because he's easily the fastest player on the team.
Yeah.
I mean, against Western Kentucky, I was in the student section. He got a punt and looked crazy fast when he caught it, like just flying to the sideline. And I was like, dang, bro, like, how is he not back there over a Mecca? Like, is he going to drop the punt?
Like, who knows? Who knows?
But, yeah, so he's out of the table. So take shots downfield. Hopefully Marv is okay. Don't know if he is. I honestly wish he would – I hope he sits out against Purdue because I get it. I think he knows that Maryland's a threat and doesn't want to have us lose the game because he's out. But if we win this game, we're comfortable – sit them against Purdue. Purdue is terrible. We'll beat them on the road, get our revenge for 2018. So, yeah.
I want to be honest. We also didn't even know he had one last year. So, I mean.
We did not know he had one last year.
That's what I'm saying. And he's the best player, best receiver in America. So, I mean, just because his says it's worse, I mean, we'll see. I mean, yeah, it didn't look good, but we'll see.
Can we throw him like last year how he we would throw him all these jump balls and he would catch it every which way. We need to give him a jump ball for once. We haven't done it. Like all the shots we've taken have been like 40, 50 yards downfield instead of like once we get in the goal line or red zone, throw him a jump ball in the end zone. Like, what are we doing here? Like, we threw him one against Indiana and Kyle threw it at the defender's ankles. Like, give him a shot in the end zone. Like, I know it's just wild to me. Like, he's the best in America by a large margin at that. And, other things too. We utilize him all your ways you can, but come on now. Give him the ball. He's going to make a highlight play or a normal play for a touchdown.
Yep. Yeah. What's your pick?
I'm going to go with I don't think it's going to be that high scoring. I'm actually going to go 28-20 Ohio State.
Yeah. Okay. Good fashion, good old-fashioned Big Ten football game.
I do think we'll have a deep ball completed finally against us, Ryan FBS opponent. And they'll have a 40. We haven't given up a 40-yard play. I think we might give up a 40-yard play this game. Yeah. Just because Maryland's it's funny to say Maryland's fast, but yeah, they are. Like, they have the fastest dudes we've played all year probably.
Yep. I'd say so. Yeah. I'll go with Ohio State winning this game. I'll say 31-20. I think it'll be a pretty good game overall and pretty entertaining. I think we're gonna be able to get the run game involved well. And I think Kyle McCord is gonna play a pretty clean game for the most part. So give me 31-20 in that. You guys got any final thoughts before we get on out of here? That was a really good show today.
It was a good show. What'd you say?
I just can't believe he said that.
What?
I'm surprised he told people he's hurt like that.
Oh, I know. I I wish you didn't say that. I have one other thing to say.
I wish you didn't say that because now I'm going to be thinking about it all the time.
I know. Yeah, it's playing with me right now. But
hey, now you know how I feel about Joe Burrow and his fucking calf, but fuck that.
Well,
all
dude,
right?
we get our best player hurt every fucking year. It's crazy.
Yeah,
we really do. But what I was going to say was, real quick before we get on out, Mayan Williams, we found out the reason he's not playing.
Yeah, he's back.
He's out of shape. He's over the weight limit, and it's put him in the doghouse. And apparently, Mayans blames nobody but himself. Like he
should. Yeah.
He's gotten bigger. Like I knew he looked bigger.
I could tell though in that Georgia game, man. Like he
looked like that against Georgia. Like because he had the injury. He's so last year. I was watching some Mayan film. Oh my, dude was crazy good. Top 5 running back in the nation, like film wise. If he can get back to that, that'd be awesome. I think he might be our. No offense to Chip, I still think Mayan's better than Chip if he's at his best. But Chip's a great player too, like great three deep. And then Dallin Hayden, I don't know what's up with him. He was really good when he was in last year. Apparently, he doesn't deserve the ball. Whatever.
Think about that. You're not gonna play 5 running backs. Like obviously there's teams that do it, but
no, but you're also
top 3. Like
he hasn't gotten a single carry.
Yeah.
And you gotta find ways to do stuff when it's not working, and we haven't been able to run short yardage. You got to try.
That's true. Yeah. So see how the creativeness goes with that. But with that, that's Brady King below, Matt Ricketts to the right of me, and I'm Chase Johnson. We'll see you guys.